Hello, and welcome to the Animated Doctor, where we always bring a banana to the parties. My name is Morgan.
What does that even mean?
It's an Eccleston reference.
Oh,
Jeez.
He always takes a banana with him.
And I always take a banana to a party.
And
Rose.
Tana repeats it later.
Yeah, bananas are good. I'm Kitty.
I'm Brandon.
Neither of us approved that opening tagline.
Oh, my bad.
It's a different one every time.
It is. I'm impressed with your tenacity with that, actually.
It's like a Rocky and Bullwinkle episode.
I was hoping to throw you off like the others have, but
No.
that was amusing. That was
That made us groan.
Well, that one was a pun. The other ones haven't been puns.
That was a quote.
That was a pun. Anyways. Where we always, I don't bring a banana at any party. Bananas are gross.
Oh, I love bananas.
Well,
Good
today-
source of potassium.
Today is the anniversary of the reboot.
It is.
It is.
March 26, 2005. Christopher Eccleston became the new Doctor Who after a 16-year hiatus of the entire Doctor Who franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So to celebrate, we thought we'd all watch it and then talk about what we thought about the episode later. And a little bit about Eccleston and stuff.
Premiere of the episode entitled Rose.
Yes.
Probably because
The best of the companions.
It's too early for that argument. Too early.
She is pretty awesome.
She's pretty cool.
Does someone want to give us a quick recap of what happened?
Oh. Who's doing synopsis time? I'll do synopsis time.
Go for it.
Okay, so we open with Rose, perfectly normal, average, definitely on the lower end of the socioeconomic status, 19-year-old, living her average life, working in a shop, until she goes down in the basement after the shop closes to deliver the lottery money to the electrician, which I thought was funny.
Yes.
Very normal, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And instead finds the electrician dead and a bunch of plastic dummies running around trying to kill her, which is when she meets the doctor, Christopher Eccleston, who saves her and then promptly blows up her work. The rest of the episode can be synopsed a lot more quickly. So she is obviously curious about these living plastic dummies, follows the doctor all over the place, trying to figure out what's going on, ends up meeting the Nestine Consciousness, which is a recurring villain from the previous series.
Did not know that.
I didn't either.
And helps him destroy the Nestine Consciousness, and then leaves her mother and her boyfriend, Mickey, behind to go traveling with the doctor.
She really leaves Mickey behind.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like hardcore.
She
like,
says
Standing
thanks.
there watching.
yeah.
Yeah.
What for? Exactly. Hey, damn, bitch. All right, then.
I love Rose.
She is. It's a little harsh. But, I mean, she literally leaves him kneeling in an alley. So, you know.
Yeah.
That was sort of kind of pathetic to watch. Like him, like, on his knees, like, clinging to her. Like,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
go. Like,
Well, he had
Like,
just
get a
like
grip, man.
PTSD. He was almost plastic.
Yeah.
well, who hasn't been turned plastic?
That's right. It's a commentary on our modern society.
Oh. You took a little, what was the name before? So, with this, you guys, all of us have seen a lot of Doctor Who. Was that the first episode you've ever watched? Like, back when you first started watching Doctor Who?
No.
That was mine.
That was the first one you've ever seen ever.
Yes. So I did not see it when it premiered. I had never heard of Doctor Who when I started watching it. A friend of mine told me it was a show that I would like, that it was all on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I started, this is the pilot, this is what I started with. So this episode was, like, everything was new to me. The scene where she walks into the TARDIS for the first time blew my freaking mind. Like, because I had no concept that, like, now it's a joke. It's something that, like, oh yeah, duh, the TARDIS is bigger on the inside, blah, blah, blah. But at the time, like, I had no idea she was gonna walk into this tiny box
Right.
and it'd be this giant room. No idea about the idea that it could travel in time, or that it could move at all, or that, like, all of that was new to me. The sonic screwdriver, everything was new. So while not my favorite episode, definitely one of their lower budgets.
Oh, yeah.
Like, kind of things. Eccleston will never be my favorite Doctor. Like, I do really enjoy this episode, just remembering, like, the, I don't know, the first time I experienced the Doctor kind of thing.
That's fair.
Yeah. See, I had first seen the last episode of the first series.
You saw Rose turn into Bad Wolf.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw her absorb the TARDIS. And someone had shown it to me because they had been taught they loved Doctor Who. They wanted me to love Doctor Who, and I was turning my nose up at it. And so he thought that I would love that episode because it was essentially she became Dark Phoenix. And I watched it, and I'm like, And so, and I didn't watch it.
You never watched
this
it
was
again.
back. This was probably back when they were probably in their third or fourth season when he showed me the end of the first season.
Okay, so like 2007, 2008.
Yeah,
Third or fourth season would have been,
that should have been around then. Yeah, no. And so I didn't come back to it until last year, and then I started with the pilot and moved forward. And was still deeply unimpressed, if you can be deeply unimpressed with the first season. Like I had another friend who guided me through the first season and says, "No, just wait. And then when I got to David Tennant, then I'm in.
Because there are some strong characters in the first season. Rose is awesome.
Oh, I like Rose, yes.
Captain Jack is... I mean, like, Captain Jack Harkness is just, like... There's just something about that character. It's, you know, he's interesting, he's complex. He was one of... God, I don't know, the only bisexual male character on TV at the time. I'm not sure I can think of another bisexual male character now, to be honest.
I'm just like looking at American TV.
True.
Yeah.
Because Doctor Who started out strong, interracial relationships, gay characters, like back in 2005, like, what, 12 years before we legalized gay marriage here in America. So yeah, I am judging by American television.
Yeah.
But I've lost my train of thought where I was
Talking
going
about
with
strong
this.
characters.
Yeah, but Eccleston, I cannot consider a strong Doctor. Like,
Really?
yeah, sorry.
It's interesting to watch him. He's very angry. I don't know, like angry. Like he puts down the human race a whole lot in this.
He does.
Yes,
He
he's very degrading towards the human race. While he's trying to save us, he is very, you stupid apes and
Where later, I don't know if Eccleston will change his mind when we still have the Ninth Doctor, when it's still him. But all the other Doctors love the human race. Like
they're not quick to pull punches when we do stupid shit.
No, but they want to protect us.
Yes, and they talk constantly about our potential and the best. That's one of Matt Smith's characterizing lines is the best of humanity. Be the best of humanity.
Right. Well, Eccleston in this episode, though he does say apes, he says they've just learned to walk, so they have so much potential. So there's that.
But potential's not the same as saying, like, they could do great things or, or anything like that. It's just, he is pretty bitter.
He is. And there's others, like, I can think of a few times that Tennant and a few times that Capaldi also, like, just went on a monologue about how the greatness of humanity and how complex but interesting we are as beings. So, yeah, this is very different. It's a very different kind of Doctor.
Yeah. Although I can think of a few times Matt Smith and David Tennant went on rants about how awful we can be as well.
Yeah.
There's Midnight.
Oh God! Oh, that's stupid. Oh,
anyway,
I don't like you. For example, there's one. David Tennant goes on he calls us a virus at one point.
Yep, that's true.
But there's a rant. Now I'm not going to be able to think of it. You missed me up with Midnight.
Yeah. You can say that for later.
Yeah.
I actually like Eccleston. He like this weird sort of. I don't know if charming is the right word, but he seems grounded.
No, that's not the right word either. But I think I know what you're getting at. He seems Aloof's not the right word. No, I know that's the complete
Aloof
opposite.
feels closer to me.
No, he's fascinating in one sense because he's very take me or leave me. Whereas all of the other doctors feel like they're sort of looking for approval, looking for their companion, trying to impress the people around him. Eccleston feels very like, I don't give a crap what you think. I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do or whatever. It's definitely not because I like you, you know. And like swans off to do whatever it is, and you have to, you know. Rose spends a lot of time running after him.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
Close.
He does
Not
like
close?
He does like Rose though.
Yes.
And
yes.
He like
very
definitely
much.
He opens the door for her. Takes her to show her very specific things, especially
calls
those early
her the
episodes.
best. Like literally calls her the best a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like, I only travel with the best. I already have Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, in comparison to like the Donna stuff, like they make it a point to show us like the Doctor and Rose see each other as friends, but they don't beat you over the head with it. But they kind of with Donna, like where that's like a running joke in every episode, like, oh, we're not a couple, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, are you two together? Like, no, we're not together. But this one, like, Rose is, oh, like the police officer, and Rose comes back, like, well, they're like a sexual thing, like, no, and like that's how you get it, 'cause, like,
right, that's
all you need.
Well, with the Donna, we have to, like, they almost have to emphasize that they're not together because he's just had relationships with his previous two companions, or kind of relationships, or
like he did mac on the tree lady.
He macks on the tree lady hard.
He does mac on the tree lady.
Second
That's
episode,
true.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, he's definitely not into Rose yet, nor Rose into him. Like Rose, I don't think falls in love with the Doctor until
he's Tennant. Yeah, I feel that way too. Like that Eccleston is not. I mean, she loves him, like, but not like she cares. Maybe that.
I think she cares about him.
Yeah.
Like,
he represents freedom for her.
That too.
She is bored with modern life.
Yeah. Well, and you have to admit, I mean, like, it's actually okay. So she's one of the only companions in the very first episode, the episode that we're talking about, our you know, like first premiere or whatever. Rose talks about how her life is pointless. Like, she's standing there in front of the Nestine consciousness trying to decide whether or not she's going to risk her life to save the Doctor. And she talks about how she's got no education, no future, no prospect. She's not worth anything except that she got bronze in her gymnastics class. And so she's going to save the Doctor.
Should we talk about gender roles yet? Or can we wait?
Know,
we should probably wait on that. We'll wait.
No, but
you're right. Yeah, no, she has nothing to lose, and then she ends up saving him. So it's one of the not, and it's not going to be the last time we'll see a companion save the Doctor, obviously, but
helps someone figure out, like, helps them solve the mystery. Like,
yeah, he's pretty dumb in that moment, isn't he? She has to ask him to turn around quite a few times to recognize that the Ferris wheel is precisely what he was describing.
Right,
I mean, that's probably just done for a gag. But still.
Probably, but. I feel like every other Doctor though would have gotten it quicker. But again, first episode, the writers are trying to figure things out, and
it does feel a little different.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know, because I know like a lot of shows, like, or I think like BBC will do this. Like they'll record a lot of episodes before they even air their first one.
Oh, they might. So yeah, it might not have been a pilot in the same way that we do in the United States.
I do feel like this one's a pilot though, because you get the moment where he's looking in the mirror and he's like, "Oh, the ears could have come out better," you know, like it feels very much like we're reintroducing, because we get the whole story. Like if you've never seen an episode of Doctor Who, don't know anything about it, like I did, like this did give me enough of a basis to work with the rest of everything, like figure out what's going on.
That's clever.
But there's also a lot of like little things in there that nods to
series. You would have thought like, oh, the ears and stuff, like, oh, because he regenerated.
Which I didn't know what he meant by that. You know, like I didn't. Why is he looking at himself? What's with like why is he surprised about his ears?
Yeah.
No. I didn't know that was a mechanic of the, like in the Dark Phoenix episode at the end when she becomes Bad Wolf. I thought we were done. I was like, oh, is this a one-off? Right. Like, there's just one season? Like, I didn't realize that he could be someone else. But then in the second episode, like, we were watching the second episode earlier today, the Cassandra and
Yeah.
you know, the Earth exploding and everything. The moment when you find out that like Gallifrey's gone, you know,
Right.
that I'm so sorry, your people are, you know, I realized how big a reveal that would have been to
people who
who would
remember it
yeah.
from
from their, you know, watching it as they grew up, or you know, or whatever. Like,
I guess Tamlin showed up quite a bit.
but yeah, they played major characters. Him going back to Gallifrey and seeing other Time Lords and stuff like that. Like that would have been a huge deal.
Yeah.
Of course, it didn't mean anything to me because
No.
I had never seen any
And
of
most of the people who are big fans of it now, well, I don't know, I have no data to back this up, but I wonder how many of them knew about the old Doctor and how many of this was getting a new generation.
it. Addicted.
Yeah.
That's an unfortunate word, but still, yeah, like hooked to the show.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, like, sort of like with us, like, we've seen the new Doctor, but we haven't seen the old Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's available to watch because, I mean, I've never taken the time to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
I have a couple of episodes. I can't. I'm sorry.
You don't like it? Yeah.
I don't like it. It's a little racist. It's very sexist. It's,
Right.
you know, and then you know, I mean, like, I could get over, if the stories were good enough, I could get over the whole, like, bad production, like, out of date, you know, like, watching Star Trek or the original Star Trek is only a little painful if you can get past the sexism or racism. You
Sure.
know what I mean? Like,
Well, that was still also pushing boundaries.
yeah,
so,
absolutely. But I don't know. Just because you're pushing boundaries doesn't mean I can't see how far you had to go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed, like, there's a lot of silliness in the Eccleston episodes.
Yeah. But also, like, this actually works. It's a pretty good thesis statement for the entire show. Because there's silliness.
Yeah.
There's also some really creepiness. Like, there's, like, so Mickey's,
True.
the scenes with Mickey
Or,
are
yeah, a little
very
disturbing.
and horror.
That was creepy. Plastic
Yeah.
Mickey.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. Like, the way they did his makeup and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, even being swallowed by the trash can. So it's like, it's goofy, but then we have a little bit of the creepy, and we have a little bit of the serious. He has that moment where he's holding her and he's talking about how the world is spinning.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
like, how he's able to... You don't even think about it, but I can feel it. You
Yeah.
know, like...
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like in one episode, the writers did seem to manage to get those things that we'll remember about Doctor Who, is that there's some goofy, there's some really dramatic, very serious, and then really creepy horror.
And the
Be
idea
horror,
that if you
but-
get too close to the Doctor, you die.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got the guy that she goes, like, he's looking for the Doctor. He's a big conspiracy theorist nerd
Right.
or whatever looking for the Doctor. And, and she goes to him. Well, we get to watch him get killed by the plastic
Right.
people later, right in front of his child and his wife. You know,
Yeah.
like,
And he even tells, so one of the main things he tells
Tells
her
her.
is that he has a constant companion,
which is death.
which is death, right?
Like, anywhere the Doctor goes, people die.
Yeah, which is also a little bit of linguistic irony because
Yeah.
she will be his companion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good episode in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, it does all the right things.
I was thinking, like, there are certain moments that will take me out of some, like, I don't like toilet humor at all. If somebody has toilet humor, then you've lost me instantly. It's because it's not amusing to me.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, the episode was the Slovene?
Slovene.
Oh, the fart.
The fart jokes.
Yeah. It's like, you know, like, every, like, 7 minutes.
Yeah, fart, yeah.
Where, like,
Yeah, that's
rapid
true.
fire, like, they're all in a room, and, like,
Oh,
well, let's get
yeah.
naked. Like,
Yeah, like,
why am I...
Right.
Why?
yeah.
I'm
It's
with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I walked in on someone watching that just the other day, and I was thinking that very same thing. I was like, oh, I forgot how crude this is.
This,
Yeah.
Yeah, the only redeeming factor of that episode is, or those episodes, is the jarring, like, mother slapping the Doctor thing. That was awesome. Like,
Yes.
Rose's mom hitting him in the face. That was great.
That's fun.
And then, what's her name?
The Prime
DMP, that becomes the Prime Minister.
Oh, I love her. She says her name all the time
All
because
the
she
time,
flashes
it's the
her.
gag. It's the
Yeah.
gag. Is her name Martha? No.
No, that's
Nope.
that's another companion.
yeah.
But we know who you mean. Yes.
Yeah. Damn it! I can't believe I can't think of that character. That's literally the gag. I think.
It also made me think, like, that's silly. I mean, the plastic comes to life. Like,
Yeah.
it's not as silly, but it's okay. But then they have gun hands. Like,
Yeah.
what? Explain to me
Yes.
how these plastic things make gun hands.
Um,
You're just animating plastic. Like,
Well, see, sometimes I like that. That part, that's camp to me.
yeah.
So that
I don't
feels
mind that as much too.
that feels great. The farting, I mean, that is campy too. It can be.
But,
It's
yeah,
crude.
it's overdone. They do it too much. And then
Oh yeah,
those
yeah. If
two
it was just a
episodes,
little bit, it'd be one
one
thing. But
yeah.
yeah, we don't see that as much later on. I mean, you have humor and there's slapstick, and then there's.
yeah.
But you don't see any of that kind of. Well, do you? Not that I can think of, with any of the other Doctors. Past this first series, into series 2 and 3 and 4.
You're talking about the crude stuff or the nonsense stuff?
No, the crude stuff. I still think we get a lot of camp. I think
Oh yeah,
camp
there's
happens
plenty
a
of
lot.
camp.
Yeah, I can't really see anything other than like
No.
whale barf.
Oh
that's
yeah,
it.
for,
But
this
that-
isn't gonna be
kinda
big on
cute.
dignity.
See, that's
There
kind of
are
funny.
a lot of like
It's handled better.
anti-sex jokes with Matt Smith. Like they seem to point out a lot that like, what's it like? I'm trying to be delicate, doctor, because I know how you can blush. Like is one of the lines they use with them, kind of thing. Like, oh.
I forgot about Rose's mom. Like the first time she sees the doctor, like,
Oh
hey.
yeah, that was a
Oh,
really
yeah.
weird scene.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
Rose's
a strange
mom-
man and
like,
Coming onto the doctor
Like, before
while
she
Rose
even
is
said
still in the
hello.
house.
like,
Yeah.
hey, this is so. Like, I'm in my nightgown. Like, whoa, you are a thirsty lady. Just
Very
calm
thirsty.
down.
Very thirsty. They back off of that, don't they?
yeah, they
that's
don't.
right.
They never make that joke again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he shuts her down
Yeah.
politely.
Yeah, I don't know. No, and
It's
walking away
direct.
is not easy.
See, this
Yeah,
goes back to what
direct.
we were saying about Eccleston, is that he does not seem to care much about
About what-
other people think of him.
No.
It's also weird. It bothers me how much he rags on Mickey.
Yeah, he's
Antagonistic.
Thank you.
But
jeez.
you're right. But
Antagonistic.
later on, it feels like a sort of jealousy thing. Like he wants to be. But you're right. From the very
That's
get go,
beginning.
Yeah, with Tennant, it's almost like a
Yeah, like
jealousy.
jealousy.
Yeah.
But like Eccleston thinks like he's the dumbest thing that's ever existed.
Well, he's
Like,
not.
he calls like an
He's not
idiot
that
like
smart.
nonstop.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. He hacked into the freaking Navy and launched a missile. How
That's-
dumb could he be? You know, like
Well, we don't get that until later, though. Early on, he's pretty kind of.
that's
that's
like-
the second time you see Mickey.
Is
With
that right?
Yeah.
Lois Levine, he's like
Oh,
he hacks it.
right.
Yeah.
Green, like,
Now the
Doctor
doctor.
Doom
In this first episode, though, he is pretty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
they
he
all
is-
seem kind of pretty feeble,
Yeah.
I
except
wonder
for
if that's
maybe
for-
Rose.
And her mother is definitely like I feel very strongly that they're trying to portray her as the British equivalent of white trash. You know, of your
Definitely.
like
Definitely.
hillbilly.
Yes.
Oh.
All of these human characters
Yes,
are
yeah.
trying to be shown as being like poorer.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I guess Mickey just makes a very poor first impression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or make like he tries to abandon the doctor right at the beginning. Then like he's literally clinging on to Rose, begging her not to
Yeah,
leave.
Yeah.
codependently and yeah.
Oh, it's weird. Like I haven't seen this episode in a long time. I've seen like everything else. Like, it's weird seeing Rose and Mickey be happy together.
Because they
Oh,
are
yeah, you
in the
had mentioned
beginning.
that.
Like
yeah.
they're like cute and flirty, and like oh, that's kind of adorable. And then
Mhm.
later like oh hey, sup, and it's just
Yeah.
awkward and distance.
Well, she has already gotten the glimpse of something beyond her own little small world.
Yeah.
And so she's already like looking at the stars, if you will. So
And there's also an aspect like in the she's having the conversation with Mickey, who is not Mickey, the plastic Mickey or whatever, and she's trying to leave it behind. She's like, I don't want to talk about the doctor anymore.
Mhm.
This is crazy. This is stupid. I'm done with this.
Right.
But she mentions that she could try and take her A forms. Is that what she calls them?
Yeah.
Which is the test that you have to take in Europe in order to get into college. You have to score well enough on these
Yeah.
tests to get into college.
So like our ACT or yeah.
Yeah. Except this is an actual like
Pass fail.
yeah, like you
Oh,
can't get into college
oh.
without these kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she talks about how she dropped out of school for a dude. Like that she left school and what a big mistake that was, and well, I've already
Right.
made that mistake. I guess I could try again, you know, kind of thing. So maybe like she's happy with Mickey doesn't mean she's as attached as we.
No, she definitely doesn't seem to. Like as the relationship proceeds, like that seems to be very clear. Is that Mickey was nice?
Yeah.
Cause I forgot she gets herself another boyfriend while she's traveling around.
Yeah, she
does.
picks up another guy
No,
and invites him along. Mickey does not get an invite along.
No.
In the
Well,
beginning.
the doctor explicitly says he can't come.
Yeah.
Oh, he does change his mind later.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I meant in that first
After the Slovene episode, he does invite Mickey, and then Mickey says he can't handle it. Like straight up tells the doctor he can't handle it, but don't tell Rose I said that.
Mm-hmm. I forgot Rose turned him down at first. Like the first time the doctor was like, "Hey, you want to go traveling and stuff?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I want to stay here. And then until he comes back, like, I can also travel through time. Like, oh, so I can just pick up right where I left off then.
Which becomes a thing in a later episode with her dad. Like,
right.
He starts to assume that maybe that's the only reason she wanted to come with him.
And it might be.
Yeah.
Like it's certain. I mean, we know that Rose is clever. She can use a computer first of all in 20 whatever this is. but she is clever. She traces the small clues that she has that lead her. Well, might have led her back to the doctor. At least leads Mickey into danger, and that leads the doctor back to her. So we know that she's clever. So she might have been able to think, this is like a free ticket back, so I can take this adventure and come back, or I might be able to save my father.
See, I don't think it has anything to do with the time travel. I think it's one of those, somebody offers you, I don't know, let's say somebody offers you a Mercedes. And your first instinct is that's too big a thing. Like I can't take that. That changes my entire life. I can't have that. But a few seconds after you say no, you're like, oh no, wait, I want that Mercedes. Actually, that sounds like a good idea. Oh, I think it's one of those things where like the first time he offers, she's like, no, wait, my mom, I've got a boyfriend, like my life, like it's dangerous. And then after she has a few seconds to think about it, well, actually a few seconds to he leaves, a few seconds to think, well, that opportunity just went flying out the window. I just threw that away.
Yeah, she does sit there for a minute, like.
Yeah,
okay,
like maybe I shouldn't have
go.
done that kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. I don't think she's that concerned about the danger because she asks, is everything like this dangerous? And he says gleefully, I might add.
Yes.
Yes. And then her face is still the grin.
Yeah.
Mickey reacts, but she doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't care so much about the danger.
So I think we see the same thing with Donna too. Like that first episode, he asks her to come along and he leaves, and then by the time he runs into her again, she's like, I can't believe I turned you down. I can't believe I didn't go with you. This was the stupidest thing I ever, ever did.
Yeah, there's a few parallels between the two.
Yeah.
There are. Donna's also a return to this kind of companion that is from a very mundane life. Donna's kind of searching for meaning in her life. Her mother. So this version of Jackie is Rose's mother's name. So this version of Jackie in this first episode reminds me a lot of the way Donna's mother is throughout that entire series, where Jackie becomes a lot more likable, I think.
Yeah.
And Donna's mother, I don't know if she ever achieves likability.
No.
So I think that maybe they wanted to come back to this idea and have a more overbearing, gossipy, controlling mother, where Jackie is, at first this feels overbearing and controlling, and then almost shortly after, she's just kind of, she's loving and doing what she knows. She doesn't know that it's best, but she's the only thing she knows.
She's trying. She wants to help.
Yes.
She cares about Rose.
Yes.
You almost don't see that with Donna's mother. You believe that maybe she cares about Donna, but it's so buried beneath the
power.
And the abuse and
Kind of feel like Jackie like telling Rose about different jobs. Like, you just lost your job. Like, you could do this or you could do this. Like, trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
Like,
but
Donna's
she also says that line about like it's okay if you work at the butcher's because that clothing store you were working at was giving you airs and graces. Like really? So you're okay with your daughter aiming a little bit high, but you definitely want to make sure that she doesn't get too far above you, kind of thing.
Yeah, that is interesting. But see, again, that in this whole episode, it kind of feels like that. Like, we don't see Jackie becomes a different person next time we see her, I
Yeah.
feel.
Well, she's lost Rose for an entire year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That can do it. Maybe that's what makes the transformation.
She's accused Mickey of
Wow.
I know.
All right.
Of murdering him too. Spent a year pointing fingers at him
Yeah.
that he murdered Rose.
Yeah.
Poor Mickey.
I know.
I think he's pooped upon more than any of the
Probably.
he's pooped on so much. Even more than Rory was.
Yeah, Rory gets the short end of the stick a couple of times, but not like Mickey does.
Not like Mickey.
Yeah. Yeah, Amy doesn't abandon Rory.
Yeah.
Mm.
He didn't know anything about it.
She nearly left him.
True,
Like
yeah.
she was
True.
that first series with Amy is about
Yes.
whether she's gonna
Yeah, whether or
through
not
the
she's
marriage.
gonna leave. Yeah,
Yeah.
leave Rory.
At the same time, like, it's something I didn't catch before. Like, Rose almost blows up, or like she's in the building, or she works in the building that blows up. And everyone's like all worried about her.
Right.
And Mickey's like, "Are you good? You want to go like get a drink or something?" He's asking just so he can go watch the game.
right.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend might just go through like some sort of traumatic. Like, yeah, she's playing it off. Like it's
Yeah.
no big deal, but like, she was in that building that just exploded.
Right.
And you want to go watch the game. Like,
Yeah, that is kind of weird. I mean, they're just kind of going through the motions. I mean, that's what we see.
Well, the other side of that is they're really freaking young.
Oh yeah.
They're 19.
She's 19. That's weird. That is so weird.
She's 19.
Why is that weird?
It's not weird with Eccleston. It's weird with Tennant.
I
Oh,
give
is
you that
it?
one.
Yeah, he's what 900.
Yeah.
There's only like about like an 800 and like 880
Sure.
year difference there.
Well, Time Lords work differently,
Hmm.
and God knows he's not that mature. So
Yeah, but still, just from a purely human perspective, like that's really freaking young. Like, I'm back to talking about Mickey and Rose together. You know,
Oh,
like,
okay, I
it's
thought
not
you-
like,
this-
sorry.
yeah.
It's not like either of them are thinking about marriage. It's not like either of them. So this relationship, we're judging like how committed they are to each other and everything.
Yeah.
But how committed should they be?
Yeah,
Right.
They're 19.
right.
No,
Yeah.
like.
that's fair.
But yeah, definitely the doctor with Rose in any sort of relationship context is a little.
See, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, you're weird.
Yeah.
I mean, like she's old enough to be a consenting adult.
No, yes, like,
Like-
she's old enough to make these choices, and that like.
Like on like Earth terms, like
Yeah.
what's the consenting age for a Time Lord?
Yeah. How old do you have to be?
Or did like in your second life by then, or
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question about Time Lord culture.
this is
It does feel weird.
like when you watch them,
See,
like
by the time though that we get to it, I think I would have been weirded out if it happened with Eccleston and not just because it's Eccleston. I think by the time we see Rose with Tennant, she's first of all she's older. Like, I mean, she's literally older.
Yeah.
But she has gone through so much. It doesn't feel the same. Like she doesn't. In fact, she acts even more adult than she does in these first few episodes.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. She is, by the time she's Tennant's companion, she is considerably worldly.
She's very worldly.
A lot more worldly than we see here.
Yeah, she's not an ingenue by that
Yeah.
point. She did absorb the TARDIS, so she.
And you see, like, you almost see her, I don't know how to say this, like, become unmature because David Tennant is so immature. Like, like almost to catch up with him kind of thing. Like, betting whether or not they can get Queen Victoria to say, we're not amused. You know,
Right. Well, I think that's because they're falling in love.
Oh,
That
well,
was like flirting.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But there's this part to Tenet that's very immature, very instant gratification, very very young in a certain way, and you almost see Rose take a back step to catch up with him, where she's grown up with Eccleston.
Mm-hmm.
Like she almost
Right.
has to come back a little bit to, sink down to his level. That's the word I...
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Eccleston definitely has his playful moments.
Yeah, I feel like she's she's having fun with him, where she didn't have as much fun. I mean, again, in this first episode, we see like Eccleston grabs her hand when they saw the Ferris wheel, and they're running, and then there's this kind of element of fun, but there's not that much fun that she has in this first series. Despite how goofy it can be.
Yeah, it is goofy, but Eccleston's never like. I don't know what the right word. He's never I don't know how to describe it. He is serious about what he is doing.
He's always
he is
guarded.
Focused. Yeah.
Yeah,
Guarded's
good.
a good word too.
In fact, going back to what we were saying earlier, that might be the best word to that he seems very guarded. In denial, maybe.
But I still think he does have fun. Like when he goes to the end of the Earth, like when Earth's about to like, he's having a good time while he's there. And until like everything goes wrong.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he doesn't play with her. I don't think he plays with Rose as much. Where David Tennant feels like this is the two of them having fun.
Right. Yeah.
That's fair.
He's showing Rose things. He's showing her the world.
You'd almost call it showing off.
Right? Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Wants to be impressive for Rose, which goes against what we had just said about him not caring about what other people think.
But
they do have some good banter though.
Yeah, they do. They do.
A lot more antagonistic than you see with her and Tennant, though. True. Eccleston and her throw some jibes.
Yeah.
On more than one occasion.
It was like through that back and forth they have, and they're walking like, hey, if you don't tell me what's going on, I'm gonna call the cops. And he's like, that's supposed to
sound tough.
Sounds tough, like sort of.
Yeah.
Then they go back and forth with the sort of.
Yeah.
Also, very random, unbroken camera shot. Where they just follow it forever
through the entire apartment complex. Yeah. No, that was great. Also, kind of emphasizing the socioeconomic status of Rose and her family. Yeah.
It seemed weird. Like, it's not often that the camera work of Doctor Who will stand out in my brain. Because most of the thing is
that's true.
I agree. Functional to the point where you don't, which is like my favorite kind of functional. You don't even notice it. Like, it doesn't draw attention to itself, so you can just get lost in the story. But this was like, they haven't cut in a long time.
No, they don't cut the entire time. You're right. It's good tracking shot.
Yeah, that's the random thing. I don't know if this episode would have gotten me to watch the rest of the series.
It didn't for me. Like I said, I was pushed.
I had a warning. I was told, like, you got to make it through the first season. Make it through the first season, and you'll love it but you need to watch the first season so you'll understand what's going on.
Right.
I'm like, okay. And there was enough of a tease here, like I said, with no concept. Okay, why the hell does he have this thing that's bigger on the inside? What is a Time Lord? He called himself a Time Lord. What's a Time Lord? You know, like, what's this? Doesn't he mention the Shadow Proclamation in this when he's talking in the nesting? Like, what the hell is that? You know, like, so there was enough, and like I said, Rose is a compelling enough character for me to be like, okay, I need to see how this turns out, kind of thing.
I mean, aptly named, like, it's called Rose. It really is about her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean,
it's like her meeting this person in a box.
Doctor Who is always about the companion, because you're always telling the story through the companion's eyes.
Right, they're the humans.
So, but I don't know. Yeah, Eccleston will never be my favorite. This isn't my favorite season, but he has some good points to him. I'm only resentful about how the actor chose to treat the show and the fans. Not really his presentation of the Doctor so much.
His Doctor is pretty different though.
Yeah.
He's very stiff.
It is very stiff.
I mean, like, that could be the whole guarded thing.
Right. I mean, which kind of fits into the overarching narrative.
Yeah.
This is the Doctor right after the Time War.
Just
and
like, according to his mind, it's like right after he blew up Gallifrey.
That's correct. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So that makes Eccleston's portrayal makes it a little bit more sense.
Yeah. Why he's always on edge and.
Yeah, he's always on edge. He's kind of guarded. He's angry.
Yeah. He was apologizing to the nesting conscious. You know, like, I couldn't save them. I couldn't save any of them.
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, I
Oh,
couldn't,
yeah. Couldn't save your planet.
Right.
planet, yeah.
Man. But, I don't know. Yeah, there's good moments. Like, I love when he sees the Dalek for the first time. He just freaks the
That,
crap out.
yeah, I have to admit, that episode is so rough, I don't like to watch it. Like, that...
Really makes me want to watch it again.
It's probably one of my favorites of his. Just because that one scene, like,
Yeah.
he had to reveal, and he's scared, and he's angry, then he's starts being
Yeah.
cruel, and, like, he's got, like, all the emotions, like, oh, this is how you feel.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I have to
might need
admit, you don't see many episodes where the Doctor's cruel. Like, that's a rare thing.
You're doing David Tennant series.
I would call David Tennant decisive, but I would very rarely call him cruel.
No, I wouldn't call him cruel
Cruel.
ever.
Also, I didn't realize how he's ready to kill people. Eccleston is.
Mm-hmm.
He launched a missile at Slovene.
Yep.
Yeah. He tried to save the Nestine.
He did.
Yeah.
He had his backup plan with him, though.
Yeah, naturally, you need to. But, yeah, I mean, he really gave the Nestine a like...
Fair shot, yeah.
Yeah.
Move elsewhere, move on. Yeah, and he didn't even hesitate about the Slovene either. It was not the idea that he was going to kill the Slovene. It was the idea that Rose and him might die in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It really just wipe all out.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. I liked it enough. I mean, I worked my way through it.
Yeah.
Kept on watching Doctor
And
Who.
I'm still glad they rebooted it, because
Yes.
Doctor Who's my favorite. It's awesome!
Nerd.
I am a nerd, shut up.
Well, I think that about does it.
Yeah.
And this
Happy 13th anniversary!
Woo! Happy 13th anniversary. And thank everyone for listening to the first episode of the Animated Doctor Podcast. Next time will be favorite doctors.
Mm-hmm.
See you then.
See you later.
Bye!